and welcome to Points of Interest. I'm one of your hosts, Jake, along with my co-host, James, over here.
Hey, guys.
If you're new to the show, this is Inverted Reality's gaming news podcast. Every week, we collect video game news and stories from around the internet, bring them to you in one nice little package to consume at your own pace. You can get the show on the podcast service of your choice. I know what you're thinking, because I just saw it on the script, too. On your podcast service of choice, or over at youtube.com/inverted reality. We delve the show out in chunks day by day from Tuesday to Thursday. Release the whole show as one big video in MP3 on Friday.
At least that's the goal. It hasn't been super consistent.
It's inconsistent.
Lately,
There's always a show on Friday.
Yes.
That always happens. The little breakout bits don't always happen. But if you follow us on Twitter at IR Games, we'll tell you when they do happen.
That's a good idea.
As another disclaimer, kind of like last week's, our voices still aren't quite there.
I know.
This will be the hardest I've pushed my voice since we did the show last week, and another project we're working on that we'll tell you about later.
Yeah, which caused you to lose your voice the next day.
My voice was almost completely gone the next day.
Right.
Was pretty gone the day after. Yesterday, well, actually, today is really the only day that it's really been back.
Right.
So, what better way to celebrate a voice being back than for talking for a whole hour straight? No breaks, no water.
Exactly.
I didn't plan that kind of far ahead. And speaking of planning ahead, James, what have you been playing lately?
What have I been playing lately? Well, it's exactly what I said it was going to be. I started Wolfenstein 2. I don't have a fancy screenshot for it. I missed that part because I was working on other stuff. But Wolfenstein 2, I started it. I played more than I expected to.
Yeah, you're like blazing through it.
I am. It's awesome. I love it.
It's really good.
It's just, it feels more detailed than the first one. There's a whole lot more collectibles, which I have mixed feelings on because it definitely has this sense of like, I'm never going to get all these collectibles.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's 75 of this one. Okay, that seems reasonable. But there's 100 of this one.
Yeah.
Oh, but there's 50 of this one.
There's like 75 of Max's toys.
75 of this and 15 of these and 20 of these. And I'm like I get the point and it's cool. There's a lot of, so there's 150 readable items to pick up.
Yeah, I've not been reading them. I just like pick them up
because
I have to collect them.
Well, it's just like some of them are cool because I really like alternate history time. It's one of my
really
favorite
cool
things. But I get it. Like the Nazis won and America sucks in this realm, you know. And so it's interesting. But now I'm not going to say where I'm at, but because I did not expect it when I was coming into the game. But it's really cool. It's like set in 1961, so it's far into the Nazi regime. You get to meet Hitler, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
It was unexpected. Like I knew that Hitler was in the game somewhere. Didn't expect to meet him like I did. It was both entertaining and terrifying at the same time. So
isn't it nice to kind of be past the part where BJ's talking about how much he's dying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's nice.
It was cool. Like the bit of him talking to himself while you're playing the level is kind of neat. Like, but
heavy stuff.
Boy, it's like it was cool, but it's like you start every level and it's like Caroline, thank you, Caroline, and it's just like all right, we get it.
Wings.
You're dying. Yeah, but
no, it was good. I thought I feel like the pacing's good. It's just interesting. It's a much deeper story. I didn't know what to expect. Like the trailer
was a lot harder than the first one.
Oh, dude, it is so hard. But I really like it. Like part of me wants to like finish it and see if I can get like maybe not the platinum trophy, but
go
back
of like hard shooters.
Oh yeah, so
that's
like I kind of want to go back and like play it on the hardest difficulty and just see like if I can get through it because I enjoy it and it's fun because I feel like this one more than others gives you more than one path to take to get past a battle. Right, the checkpoints are a little bit better than the first game. But they give you just more options. So it's like, well, you don't walk into a room and you have one door and you have 16 entrances, right? It's like, okay, I can come in this room here, or I can come back around through this hallway and I can come over here. I could sneak down these stairs, or I could jump over the top. There's more options, and I think the levels are bigger. You can tell that they learned from Doom, right? I know it wasn't the same people that did Doom, but it's the same publisher. And so you can tell that they shared some resources.
Yeah.
But it's just Doom had very big open levels, a lot of secrets, a lot of things to explore. The first Wolfenstein was very much, I wouldn't say it was quite on rails, but it was a lot closer than this. This one has bigger open areas, a lot more nooks and crannies.
More places to get lost.
Yeah.
And you're like, where the heck am I supposed to go?
Yeah, there's a couple times I've gotten turned around. But overall, I like it. It's gorgeous. Just everything's so visceral. It feels more like Doom than Wolfenstein did, and I like it. When you get to your like home base, you can play the retro. You can hop on the retro console, and it's so much more than the first game was. First game was like you'd stumble across a level every once in a while. You get to play that level, kind of like with Doom. But this one's like, hey, here's Wolfenstein. Play. Like, which one? All of them. It's got all the retro ones just right there. unlocked from the start. And there's no
Have fun.
trophies with any of them other than just playing. So I started playing for a bit, and I realized it was an hour, and I was playing like a 25-year-old video game inside my current video game. And I was like, I'm gonna go back to the one with aiming.
I'm a level
and
too deep.
guns. Yeah, I was like on like floor 3 of the first Wolfenstein game, and I'm like, you know what? This is probably good. I think I'm okay. But it was just interesting to have it. So I'm excited. When I finish it, I might go back and I might try and do a run where I just get all the collectibles. Go back and do some of those. The side missions with the Uber Commandos. Yeah, that's pretty cool because it's just like, hey, here's a mission. Go kill that
You've
guy.
been doing those as you go?
I just did a couple of them, when they opened
I
up.
didn't do any of them.
Oh,
And like I finished.
yeah.
And like that's when you get a trophy. It was like ding the end or whatever, or like play
Yeah.
more. And so like I hadn't like decrypted anything. I had like 40
Oh, yeah.
Enigma codes and like screwed up the first like 3 or 4 codes that I had because I forgot how to do it because it had been so long since
Right.
I did it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I had to look it up
it's
because it's like,
interesting.
oh,
Yeah, they've got a tutorial for it. You just kind of got to dig for the tutorials, but
yeah.
It's
There's a tutorial
interesting.
for it, but it's pretty vague.
yeah. So I've got like all but like 2 of them unlocked, at least the ones that I can see so far. I'm sure more will open up.
Mhm.
And then I went and did a couple of them, and it's cool because like, hey, kill that guy. How do I do it? I don't know.
Yeah, just do it.
How do you want to do it? So they were really
I would
hard.
advise quickly.
They were really hard.
If you can run in there quick and just like melee, it's a one-shot kill.
I got one of them because they call them what do they don't call them side quests. They call them something else, but a district. Call them a
Yeah.
district. And so I actually did one without setting off an alarm. Like and I
Nice.
there's a trophy, a silver trophy for doing it without setting off an alarm, and it was awesome. And it was so cool. I felt like such a man. Even my wife was like, "Yeah, you did it. Good job." I was like, "Yeah, I did stealth in a game with dual wielding shotguns." I don't quite know what happened.
I don't know. I don't know how I did that.
It
But
may have taken 30 tries.
do you
but-
like strictly use the shotgun?
Once I started dual wielding and finding the true power of it, yes.
Oh yeah.
Because-
Shotgun's like my backup weapon.
Yeah, well, because I have the extended mag in the shotgun, so it
Yeah.
holds 40 ammo in a shotgun.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
I have there's the one. Is it straight up? I don't know. It's the rifle.
Yeah, they're right.
And so like the first thing I did with it is you make an upgrade that makes it single shot, but it's armor piercing bullets.
I didn't know it was single shot. I know that you have the armor piercing one.
It's like fully automatic,
Yeah.
but you like it's single shot and it flips the scope up.
Oh, I haven't added the scope yet.
Yeah, it flips the scope up in a single shot and then it's armor piercing. I mean, it's as fast as you can pull the trigger.
Right, but I want a single shot. That's what I was thinking as I was going through the game. I need
It's so nice. Like when the big armored dude show up, it's just like
Yeah.
there's the
what I
ones
want
that
it
like
for.
plop down, and they have like missiles in this arm and then a flamethrower in that one.
Yeah.
If you sit and hide, if you pick off this arm, like there's literally nothing he can do.
Right.
So you just sit at a distance and just like it's like
Headshots.
10 shot. No, you just like once you break the other arm, he explodes.
Oh, that's true.
So you just like once you've picked off this arm, you just pick off that one. I
Yeah.
was like, ah,
Dude, it's incredible.
it.
So I love the detail. It's just blowing me away. I can't wait to get back to it. So it's awesome. Really good story too. Just really
it's
well
a
done.
good story.
Yep. What about you? What have you been playing?
I had finished Wolfenstein 2 last week, and so I jumped into Assassin's Creed Origins this week.
Yeah, you did.
Not
Get
a ton.
back into
I was
it.
out of town this weekend.
I was gonna say you
So-
had gotten pretty far, and so you're just kind of.
I think I'm on the last mission, the beginning of the it's called the final something. So I'm sure it's
Yeah, you're
probably
probably
the last
getting there.
thing. But it's level 35 and I'm level 33. So it's like, all right, I need to go piddle around, do some
Yeah,
side
I got up
quests.
to 40 before I started that because I had some cool gear that was like level 40 from when I killed some Falakis. So I wanted to use that gear because it's really cool.
Yeah, that's where I'm headed next is to go find those guys. Be like, all right, I'm gonna go find these guys.
Yep.
And start that whole process.
Yep, that's a fun
And
one.
then do some side quests along the way,
Yeah, for sure.
whatever. Because I was in the middle of doing a mission and I rolled up and I saw like red shield. So it's not like the number that's like you can't
Right.
beat these guys, but it's gonna be hard.
Yeah,
So it's just like,
yeah. You
I
can
need
take
to-
like one or two of
I'm
them.
gonna leave.
But when it's like most of the bases like
It's just
that,
like, all right, these guys are level 34. This guy's level 35. It's like, all right, there's multiple. Like, I'm not gonna win. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
step out before.
yeah,
I
2
even
levels
try.
above you can do. 3 levels above is basically impossible because
Yeah.
you do almost no damage and they like one hit you.
They do a lot.
Yeah, so that's awesome though.
The first
Really
mission
good
I was on, there's like 2 dudes guarding the door, and so but you can walk around over top of them, and like I crawled down and landed behind them and just walked in. I was like, sweet. Then the dude you walk up on, it's just like he sees you and they're like, ah, crap, you made a noise, so they heard what you did.
Right.
Dang it.
Yeah, I unlocked when I started doing the chain assassination. So if you assassinate somebody and then are like in line of sight somebody else, you throw like a knife at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty handy.
That's the way to do it.
Took a bit to get adjusted
No.
to it.
Yeah,
but
you've overstepped your bounds when you sneak up behind someone and it doesn't say assassinate. It says stealth attack.
Yep.
It's like, I'm just going to walk the other way.
Probably not.
He doesn't have to
not going to work.
do like the old cut off the corner of his guy and be like, just know you could have been bleeding, and then just walk away. He doesn't have to be aware.
Just use the fear.
Exactly.
Fear
That's all I got to do.
I like it.
Just cause chaos.
Exactly.
Fear. But moving on to games coming out this week.
Yes.
Some games coming out this week, and mainly games that I saw and I recognized and thought were noteworthy.
There wasn't a ton of noteworthy games. There's some smaller things coming out.
It is a bit of it is a bit of an odd week.
It is a weird
because
week.
today is President's Day here in the States.
Yep.
And so like schools were out, and
some businesses
were closed, and also some gaming sites took off. So like, there's not a ton of news this week. There were some weird, like really weird news articles that I found. I was like, wow, if this is what's being printed today, there's nothing going on.
Right.
So I searched all my regular sites today, and I was like, I'm still kind of like scrounging for articles for the site that I always get stuff from.
Yeah.
I was on Reset Era,
Ooh.
which
You
I
never
mean
wanna go
is a
there.
good site for news,
Yeah, it's true.
but like for stories, but not for opinions.
No,
But-
that's true. You know, Reset Era is part of the guys that were on NeoGAF.
Yeah, Reset Era is the new NeoGAF.
Which
So-
makes it.
Yeah, we'll see. But coming out Tuesday, February 20th, Assassin's Creed Origins Discovery Tour DLC.
Yeah, this is really cool. So they're doing it free for everybody.
Yep.
If you, I think they're doing some kind of like standalone version too if you don't own the game. But the idea is like walking tours. So there's going to be all over Egypt. Going to be a place where you can go and start like a guided walking tour. So you just walk from point to point. Ton of different information about it. You can pull up background info and
You're in a group with a bunch of
pictures
other
and stuff.
tourists. You have your camera. Like if you look on your left,
But it's nice because it like turns off combat for that part, so you can actually just go and learn about the actual history, not like the Assassin's Creed
sweet.
history. So it's really cool. It's a cool option. I could see its use even in like classrooms and stuff. Of like, you know what, you guys want to learn about Egypt? Let's boot up this game. We're gonna go take a look.
you don't have to get some kids' attention.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's unique. They didn't have to do it, and they're doing it. So that's cool. Definitely check it out if you're interested. I'm personally not all that interested. I just could see like the applications for different things. And it's cool because we're looking at what they think Egypt looked like, and they'll show you pictures of actual Egypt now. And I don't know. It's just neat to me.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot from the game just
Yeah.
about Egyptian
Because of
history
that,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. They'd have little tips in the loading screen. Some of them were fake. Some of them weren't. Like Cleopatra, for instance, was rumored to be the only person in her family to learn Egyptian. Or not Egyptian, Arabic, right?
Sure.
Whatever language that Egyptians spoke, she was the only one in the Ptolemy family that actually learned it and to speak with her people.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. That's something that there's 8 million people in Egypt, and she was the only one that spoke their language.
Fact of the day.
So there you go. Fun fact.
Yeah, I remember when they were talking about, because this has been planned for a long time, but they were talking about it in some shows I listened to, and people were saying this is how confident Ubisoft is in this world not being buggy like the other ones were, because they're putting in a mode just for you to go look around.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's pretty cool.
And it is. I mean, it's pretty flawless in terms
Yeah.
of bugs. Like I haven't noticed anything, haven't heard anything. It's really well done.
Yeah, we haven't done a story on anything, which tells you probably more than what we found,
Anyways,
because the internet hasn't done a story on it. Next is Metal Gear Survive, PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
I know everyone's thinking, hey, why should I bother playing this? And I feel the same way. It's I'll read you just a
On a certain
brief-
level, people work at Konami feel that way.
Yeah. Well, a brief description here. Metal Gear Survive puts players in the role of a soldier in Big Boss's army. Okay, with me so far, right? One who has been sucked into a wormhole and dropped into a mysterious land populated by infected zombie-like soldiers.
Which sounds exactly like Metal Gear.
It does fit in the Metal Gear universe of ridiculous things that shouldn't be happening at all. So yeah, it's survival. It's single player and multiplayer, like combined, shared world, always online experience. It's a survival wasteland game. That's what it is. It's not a
Yeah.
Metal Gear game. That's what everything I read said. Don't consider this Metal Gear game. So this is a survival game, and it's not half bad. But the problem is that people can't put out reviews because they're not turning on servers until it launches, which is
always a good idea.
which is Tuesday the 20th. So they can't review it because it's an always online game. So reviews are going to be late. So if you see a review like Tuesday morning, it probably doesn't have a lot of stock to it because they haven't played it yet.
the things you're probably looking for are reviews in progress.
Yeah, I would want to see reviews like next week, like Thursday,
Yeah.
or even just Thursday or Friday. So,
So if you're looking to buy this game, wait for reviews.
Yeah,
That's just a good rule of thumb for most games.
I mean, probably just don't buy this one anyways because it's not going to be good. But
Yeah.
maybe it will be. Anyways.
Maybe it inspires somebody else to make another game that's not Konami and it's not Metal Gear branded.
That'd be nice.
Wednesday, February 21st, Layers of Fear Legacy for the Switch. So this is a remastered version of Layers of Fear, which came out a couple of years ago.
2016.
2016. So
Yep.
Yeah, it's 2018.
It's the same game. It's just reimagined for having like a handheld Switch. So
yeah,
unique features for it. Same story though. So if you already played it, probably no need to play it again. Definitely one of those like play it once kind of things. Like it kind of relies on that.
There's like collectibles in it,
active
like stuff you can get.
Yeah,
but
the story kind of loses its luster.
Yeah, if you're playing on the Switch, like there's not achievements or anything like that.
Or if you're a little girl like me, you can just watch Let's Plays of it. That's what I did because I was forced to.
I had videos of it.
It was terrifying.
Of you watching Let's Play, like sitting on my couch, just like.
It was terrifying. So,
a
anyways,
really good game.
One I am actually before we are excited for that one, there's one you like coming out Thursday. You like
talking about SteamWorld Dig?
Yeah,
which was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I played the first one.
Yeah.
I didn't play it extensively. It was a cool concept.
Yeah.
Little steampunk, kind of like Dig Dug.
Right.
Kind of like, what was that game we played? We did a Let's Play of it, and we ended up playing for like another hour because we loved it.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was called, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Either way. So that comes out Thursday on the Switch, SteamWorld Dig 2.
Thursday is usually Switch release, Nintendo Day. So,
of course, it's all about Nintendo.
Like for y'all. But also Thursday is Typo Man for the Switch.
This one, super interesting. I'd never seen anything for this. It was originally a Wii U exclusive in 2015. They had a revised edition, which is basically just nicer graphics for an actual console and PC. It came out on PC in 2016. In 2017, it was Xbox One and PS4. Now it's coming to the Switch. It's basically a side-scrolling platforming adventure. It looks really intense. Like it's not at all some happy
really cool.
scenario. Very intense backdrop, and you interact with words and letters.
Yeah, you spell words to like move through the world.
Yeah, so like platform rises up and it says platform, and you rearrange letters to say open, and it opens a door, and tilt and rotate.
Like running through gas, you like push together the letters to make breathe, so you can.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool actually.
Yeah, it seems super unique. Like I said, that comes out Thursday for the Switch. So if you're watching this, you just got to wait a couple days. And it'll be there. If you're watching this on Tuesday.
It's already out. Oh, I was like, if you're watching this on Friday,
the whole episode,
it's already out. If you're watching,
look at your calendar. You can decide.
If it's Thursday, if it's Friday,
you know what? It's out. We'll just say it's out.
It's out. So go buy it. It's fun.
So interesting.
Friday, today. You know what? Yep. Friday, February 23rd. Sword Art Online, Fatal Bullet for PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
This one's weird, and we're not anime people, so forgive us, but Sword Art Online is like written anime about a future setting that has a virtual reality MMORPG game that people play. This game is set inside that world, inside one of the games that is VR MMORPG.
Thinking about a show about people playing a game.
Yeah, but I don't
about
like
the game within the show.
There's been a ton of media for it in terms of previous games and entries and different settings. In Japan, it's mostly an Eastern game. It's not really a Western series, but it's coming here. So, you know, if you're interested in that, that's cool. It took long enough to figure out exactly what it was. So you're pretending to play a VR MMORPG.
No, you're actually playing it.
Well,
you're just pretending to be the people
but
playing
it's not you're not in VR. You are in regular R. You're just in R. You're playing reality. It's the game.
You're playing reality on whatever.
It's interesting. It's not, but
let us know how it is.
But it could be interesting.
Yeah, we probably won't be picking it up.
Right.
But speaking of things we probably won't pick up.
We're just on a roll here.
I know, right? They just get better and better. This weekend saw the world's best Rainbow Six Siege players battle it out in the game's 2018 Invitational Tournament, and Ubisoft was on hand to detail what was next for the game. So you and I have played Rainbow Six Siege before. We were not good at it. It is a different kind of shooter.
Yeah, it's a slow it's a Rainbow Six game. Like if you've ever played Tom Clancy games, you've ever played Rainbow Six outside of like Ghost Recon, because that doesn't count. Yep. But like Rainbow Six games, very slow, very methodical, a lot of planning, a lot of teamwork, a lot of communication, very important concepts there. And Rainbow Six Siege is very much the same way.
Yep.
If you are a run and gunner, this is not the game for you. Which is,
so we tried that, and it didn't work.
It's just it could be maybe if you spent more than an hour in it.
Yeah, we played a free weekend. We tried like an evening.
Yeah, it was.
And the first thing we got in, we saw, we're like, man, it takes so long to turn. What the heck? Why?
Yeah, then we figured it out.
Yep. But Rainbow Six Siege has, if you have not already heard, quietly become one of Ubisoft's biggest games. This weekend, Ubi boasted that Siege now had 27 million players. Quote from the brand director Alexander Remy. Sorry. We've communicated already a couple times that our vision for the game is to bring it to 100 operators. Today we have 36 operators. Year 3 will bring 8 more. That 100 is a symbol of longevity and we want to have for the game. We are saying extremely loudly here, there is no sequel planned. We'll be here for the next 10 years, so expect more Rainbow Six in your life for quite some time.
Boy, that is a mouthful. So when you talk about operators, they are the characters you play in the game. Game's only multiplayer. They have like single player elements in terms of like bots and AIs you can go against.
So each member of the team can only be, you can't have more than one character on the same team.
Right. They're actual characters. 36 alone seems like a lot because you're obviously not playing them every time. You pick a couple that you're probably good
They all
at.
have different abilities.
You know, they all have different. How many different abilities you can really have?
Well, it's
at
like
this point. That's my
one
question.
has a big Montaigne, I believe his name is, has a like full body shield, and so he can walk with the shield.
Right.
And so he can walk into a room, see people, and walk back out and tell his teammates where things are. There's one guy has a drone that can run around, and as it like finds people, it can also shock them, and it's like 10 damage. And so like it's not a ton of damage, but if a guy's sitting there almost dead, he can actually run up and and if you're good with it, you can run around and like shock people.
Yeah.
And you won't get shot. Some people can hear drones when they're coming by and that kind of thing. One character has a shield on a gun, so it doesn't protect a lot of players. It just protects you.
Right. So
that
there's
kind of thing.
interesting things to it. It's one of those games you got to spend a ton of time with, get good at, get a team, play with people consistently, all the things that don't fit into our gaming schedule in any way, shape, or form.
We're very much like running and start playing. The journey from Siege's origins as a slightly underwhelming boxed game to today's behemoth of a live service has perhaps not surprisingly had a few bumps along the way. Last month, for example, players voiced their displeasure at Outbreak, a timed event with paid-only cosmetic packs. Paid-only cosmetic packs.
Right.
Sorry, I read that in a strange way.
That's fair. It was written in a strange way.
Yeah. Quote, year 3 is symbolic because the content we've now created for the game since release is going to be bigger than the content we shipped in the original box, end quote, Remy said. So I took that to mean when you just buy the game now as a standard edition, you get all the stuff they've made so far.
Right.
Without having to buy extra DLC. So all 20 legacy operators now come unlocked with the final game. Finally, this is kind of the big thing here. Remy defended the Outbreak event's paid for cosmic loot boxes, this time via an interview with MCV. Says, quote, I feel like the loot boxes act like a gift shop at the end of a roller coaster. I'm feeling very empathetic towards players upset with this, but at the same time, I do not feel we are cheating anyone. I don't think we are being greedy whatsoever, end quote. So it's kind of that last line that's kind of like, nothing he said is wrong.
No.
Really, because it is only cosmetic. It's been stated elsewhere that he says the team focuses one of their goals. Like it's never going to be any kind of thing that alters gameplay. Yeah. It'll only be cosmetic, which is the way loot boxes should be.
Right.
And in his loot box scheme that we agree with.
Yeah.
So they're not doing anything wrong there. It's just kind of like him going out there like, we're not being greedy. Which kind of sounded like a bit of a fed up statement.
I mean, it's interesting because they come out with all these really big numbers, and you see the active players has increased over the last couple of years as they're starting year 3, and it's cool to see this support from a developer. They're listening to their fans, they're listening to people that play it, and they're making changes and improving the game. It started off really crappy and just kind of grew from there. It was less grindy, and now they're giving you the 20 operators standard. And I know when they released year 2, they had the year 1 stuff come, and so I'm sure they have some stuff still locked behind either paywall, not necessarily paywalls, but just stuff to grind up. And so they have continued to do well and make a game that people want to play. And I want to be, it's one of those games that I want to play, and I would love to be good at it. I just don't have the time to invest in one game like that anymore. So when he talks about loot boxes, it's like, I get that. Like, if you're going to build this as like a 10-year service, you know, games as a service is what the whole industry is coming to because there's a ton of money in it. Just go ask Blizzard, who made $1 billion on microtransactions for stuff. And that's consistently happening for everybody. So I get it. But I think saying I don't think we were being greedy whatsoever is quite possibly the worst way to talk about it
Yeah.
ever.
Just an unfortunate turn of phrase there.
Yeah.
In a moment where he just probably wasn't like thinking clear. I didn't read the interview from MCV.
Right.
Well, I don't know if it was a thing they were kind of like prodding him about it, or if it was just one of those things he just has seen so much of, and people saying things to the tune of, well, they're just being greedy, trying to get my money. And in his defense, in Remy's defense, chill out about cosmetic loot boxes. Who cares?
Right.
It's a costume inside a video game. If you want to buy it, buy it. If you don't.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like if you think it looks cool and you don't want to pay the whatever it is, $3 for it, then maybe it's time to either like take a look at your finances or take a look at your priorities for what you want in video games.
Yeah, I was gonna say suck it up.
Yeah, it's not that big a deal. It was indeed though poorly phrased.
Yeah, that's the key. It's so they'll be added to the game on March 6th, available for purchase until April 3rd. Players have been able to pay for cosmetic items with real money and in-game currency since launch. So you would think that with these loot boxes, you should be able to also pay for them in in-game currency. Granted, it's going to be kind of a grind, but it's not like they're saying you can only get these things by buying them.
Yep.
But just saying, I don't think we're being greedy whatsoever is inherently kind of a greedy way to look at it. So it's basically shifting the blame from themselves to they're victim shaming at the. It might be a bit of a reach because you're not really victims. It's just like a $3 loot box or whatever.
But hurt gamers.
But it's just like, come on, guys, like let it. Like it's not, and maybe no one's saying that, and he's just trying to get out in front of, like maybe like a damage control thing. We look at what happened with Star Wars and how that affected things. Like maybe he's just trying to get in front of it. No one's actually complaining. It's a non-story. But who knows? You know how people are these days.
Yeah. So. We'll hear more on that later, or nothing about that.
Say if
My
you
bet's
guys,
on nothing.
I would say if you guys have anything to add about Rainbow Six Siege, whether you like it or not. I know some of you out there play it. We follow some streamers and some people that play it quite a bit. So if it's something that you're into, let us know what you think about the loot boxes. Let us know what you think of the game. If you think they can go screw themselves because they stink, then fine. I don't care. But just tell me. I want to know. Down in the comments on Twitter @IRGames.